Peace. This is Wise for Wise Words Media, back at y'all for another round. And the New York Knicks do not advance to the next round. Over the weekend, the Knicks took a defeat to the Miami Heat and are now officially in off-season mode. And they got a lot of things that they have to consider, moving forward. This was an excellent season. Giannis was right. This is a clear example of what Giannis Antetokounmpo was talking about. You see, they try to get up there because false media has this narrative that if you don't win a championship, you're a failure, right? Your season was a failure. You're a complete and utter failure, which couldn't be any further from the truth. These guys, all of them, are doing what they love for a living, supporting their family, giving their families the ultimate quality of living while they're doing what they love. It's people that are miserable, like whoever that was, whatever beat writer that was that said that. And Giannis already know his style because he called them out by name. And it's people like that are miserable. You're the real failure in life because you're pushing a pen and pad, taking questions or asking questions, taking replies instead of making them big dollars. You're the one that's the failure. So don't try to push that on a guy like Giannis that gives all he has and all within his power to help his team advance. Don't put that on him. But I digress. Going back to the subject at hand, Giannis is right. There is no failure in this type of situation. The New York Knicks had a very, very good season. You can't say that the Sacramento Kings are a failure. That team hasn't made the playoffs in almost 20 years. And they were a playoff team. And a high-seeded one at that. So their future's bright. The New York Knicks fall in the same lane. Like, the New York Knicks, their future is very bright. We got a solidified top 10, borderline top 5 point guard in the league. I can't remember the last time. The last time the Knicks actually, I do remember, the last time the Knicks actually had somebody of this ilk was when Stephon Marbury came to New York from Phoenix. And that's the last time we had a point guard of that nature. So it's exciting to see a top 5 point guard or top 10 / borderline top 5 point guard wearing a Knicks jersey. So that was great. To see the maturation of R.J. Barrett was another great thing. R.J., you saw him start to think the game out a little more. There was plenty times in this Miami series where you would see him like hook his hand underneath like the shoulder or underneath like the elbow of a defender and flail up beep, to the line. And they were doing that to him, so he said, you know what, I'm going to start doing that to y'all. And RJ was going to the line and making his free throws, making them pay. So these are the things that you move forward. Mitchell Robinson, if he can have a series like the one he had against Cleveland, if that could be Mitchell Robinson moving forward after this heartbreak, we got ourselves a stud in the paint, a great rim protector. So we got our number one guy, a top 10 point guard. We got a young developing talent in RJ and Mitch. So what is it that we should change? And the answer has been something that I've been saying for a long time. Julius Randle got to go. It's time to move on. Seriously, start making phone calls. Leon Rose, front office, y'all got to start making phone calls. And y'all got to see if you could work a 3-team deal, 4-team deal, whatever you got to do to get Julius Randle out of here. There's no excuse for what he's doing now. Before, when in that Atlanta series a couple years back, we had no true number one. We didn't have a stud. We didn't have a guy that could go out there and give you 25 or better a game besides Julius. So when they started double teaming Randle, it was like, okay, you know, Randall's going to struggle because they have the double teams on him. And he had nobody that he could pass it out to that could take advantage of the double team and make the other team pay. But he had Jalen Brunson this year for not one, but 2 different playoff series. He had him for Cleveland and he had him for Miami. And still, Julius Randle did not show up for either one of those series. So what is the excuse now? That man gotta go, man. He ain't built for this. He ain't built for this. He's like James Houdini Harden. He'll great regular season, all NBA and all that, but disappears when the lights shine brightest. So we gotta get rid of Randle. His demeanor, like I said a couple videos ago, when Cody Zeller pushed him to the ground and all Randle did was just stare up at Cody Zeller with no fight, no like presentation, no nothing. I said, oh, this guy, he one of those guys. He one of those guys that tried to like act like he's a tough guy, but there ain't much tough grit in him. Because there was no fight there when he had somebody his own size. He was all fight and all for the smoke when Emmanuel Quickly tried to like save him from getting the tech. He was all up in Quickly's face, ready to fight Quickly. But when big Cody Zeller got in his face and pushed him to the ground, all he did was lay there and look at him. That right there was art imitating life. Like, yo, this right here, that moment right there captured Julius Randle, playoff Julius Randle. Like, a lot of bark, no bite. So, we got to get rid of him. The guy that I want, personally, is Chris Middleton. You get Chris Middleton, he helps in so many ways. For one, he is going to be a player that can knock down the perimeter open jump shot. That is something that hindered the Knicks. If the Knicks were able to make at least half of the open jump shots that they missed on, the Knicks win this series. But they couldn't get any perimeter shooting to go down. You get Chris Middleton, that is a battle-tested veteran who is a successful NBA champion. That man knocks down open jump shots, mid-range jump shots, three-point jump shots, knocks down free throws. You ain't got to worry about the missed free throws. He's defensive. And you can no longer do, teams can no longer do what Miami was doing, which is double teaming Jalen Brunson at half court, forcing him to kick it out to one of the perimeter guys. And Miami was letting them shoot threes. You know, y'all either going to win or lose with these guys. We won game 5 with them, but as you can see, we lost game 6 and all the other games with them. But you got Chris Middleton, that alleviates that. Because now you have to account for Chris Middleton. You have to defend him. You cannot let Chris Middleton shoot open jump shots. So he's defensive, a great shooter, and most importantly, what he does is he is like this with Giannis Antetokounmpo. So Giannis Antetokounmpo loves playing with Chris Middleton, and you could expect Chris Middleton, or excuse me, you could rather expect Giannis to become a New York Knick, or it's more realistic he becomes a Knick if we already have somebody he loves to play with in Chris Middleton, and you have a rising star in Jalen Brunson. So Middleton will do a lot for this Knicks team. Let me know what y'all think. What are some of the moves the Knicks should make? What y'all think about adding Chris Middleton and what he brings to the table? So I'm Wise for Wise Words Media. Peace.